All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We do have a car video today, but we had a 3-1 night last night, including the ride of the day, 2-1 in our personal plays. We had Kevin Herter, which was an absolute lock. You guys know he's a channel Hall of Famer right now, but he is absolutely just killing it as of late. We had his over 17.5 points plus assists. Whew. He could have done that with just his points. He went off last night. We also had the teaser of the Hornets plus 10.5 and the Suns -1. I guess we didn't necessarily need the teaser for either of those, but we'll still take the cash. The only loss we had was the Heat Cav over 208.5 and the Warriors Rockets under 236.5. That was a teaser. That was probably my least favorite out of the three anyways, so I'm okay with that one dropping off as long as the other two cash. And then we had our ride of the day coming in from Justin. My man Justin had the Nets team total over and that cash. So altogether, we were 2-1 in our personal plays and we were 3-1 overall with the ride of the day, meaning we are now back-to-back absolute great days. I think we were 6-3 in our last 2 days. Last night, or 2 nights ago, we were 3-1 in our personal plays, 0-1 with the ride of the day, and then tonight, past night, we were 3-1 with the ride of the day included. So we are absolutely looking good here, guys. Hit the like button for that. Hit the subscribe button. If you do want to be the ride of the day, make sure you use hashtag ride of the day in the comments. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We're not usually recording in the car, so take that for what it's worth. We usually have the nice setup, the mic, the camera, everything like that, but we make do with what we got. Some days we're just recording out here in the car if we're away from home here. But we got a bunch of games on the NBA slate tonight. We're going to jump into each and every game. I'm going to give you my lean. I'm going to give you what I'm thinking. But as always, my final plays will be in the pinned comment. We like to talk about each and every game, but what I'm actually confident with, and what I mean by confident, I mean that I'm actually going to be rolling with and putting my own money on, those plays will be in the pinned comment, guys. And we are brought to you by MyBookie today. So make sure to check out that link in the description. Use the promo code GBS, guys. Thanksgiving football is coming up. Make sure you're on MyBookie there. I always say check out new sports books and add them to your repertoire because you can use that to your advantage. It's always an opportunistic approach to sports betting to be able to have multiple sports books to compare odds and compare lines and whatnot. So make sure to check out MyBookie, guys. Link in the description and promo code GBS. The first game that we're jumping into today is the Cavs taking on the Hawks here. Cavs at home, 2.5 point favorites, 224.5 is the total in this game. These two teams, last time they played was last season. Atlanta won a close one. The time before that, Atlanta won by big. So Atlanta's gotten the last 2 games out here. Now you come into a season where this Cavs team is actually pretty surprising. No new injuries to note for either team here. Cleveland is coming off 2 wins in a row now, and 2 pretty decent wins. They beat they beat Charlotte by 10 points. Then they beat Miami. So they're 1-0-1 against the spread in their last 2. Toronto here, they're kind of going every other game. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. They lose to Boston. They beat Toronto. Same thing from against the spread. So I do think that this Cavs team at home looks decent. I'm going to lean the Cavs here minus the 2.5. I don't totally love the Cavs just solely because they're not the team that they were when they started this year. Their record and their against the spread record and everything like that really was kind of catalyst. The catalyst of that was the beginning of the year, and it was catapulted because of the beginning of the year. So I am going to lean Cavs in this one. I think that this Hawks team is not as good on the road. They're 3-4 against the spread on the road this season. The Cavs at home are 5-1-1 against the spread this season. So I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna lean Cavs. It is just a slight lean. Maybe that whatever just came up is like a sign being like, Evan, don't lean Cavs. But it is what it is. I'm leaning Cavs here, and I don't love the total in this one either way. So we're sticking away from that. Next game up, we got the Pacers hosting the Magic. Your Pacers 7-point favorites at home. 226.5 is the total. These two teams played just a few nights back, probably 3 nights ago, and the Pacers took the win, but they had to come from behind. They take the win, had to come from behind, and only won the game by 1 point. So that says something because this Magic team has been beaten and bruised. Still no Paolo Banchero for the Magic here. Cole Anthony is questionable. Wendell Carter Jr. is also questionable. I don't believe he played the other night here. So the Pacers, 7-point favorites with all that being said. And this Orlando team has been super, super surprising at times. Now their record and against the spread record wouldn't necessarily say like, oh my God, they've been playing really well. But they're against the spread record, they're positive. They're above 500, 8-7-2. But you will say hey, on the other hand, this Indiana team is pretty damn good. 10-5 against the spread. And in their last 10 games, this is what's really, really impressive. In their last 10 games, they are just absolutely cruising. 9-1 against the spread. That one loss was against Orlando last game here. So they're at home, 4-1 against the spread. I think this game probably goes a little bit more by the book, so I'm going to lean Pacers here -7. Even though I do think that this Magic team, there's probably like a 25% chance that they can keep this one close and keep it within reach here. I do think that this Pacers team is just by far the better team, so I'm going to lean Pacers here in this one. All right, we got my Boston Celtics traveling to Chicago here. Chicago 6-point dogs at home. Totals 227.5. These two teams played already a couple times this season. First time, Chicago beats Boston 120-102. Boston then gets their revenge in early November, 123-119. We now have a 6-point game here. Boston's 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. They're 9-0 straight up. Chicago 1-5 in their last 6 games against the spread. This one's pretty easy to me. I don't think that 6 points is all that much. I'm leaning Celtics here in this one. They are healthy. Marcus Smart, I believe, is questionable, but they've shown that they can even play without him. As important as he is, I do still think the Celtics have this one. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. They're 6-4 against the spread in their last 10 games, and it really doesn't matter if they're home or away. 4-3 against the spread this season at home. 5-4 against the spread on the road here. 4-2 in their last 6 on the road here against the spread. So they're actually a better against the spread team on the road. So I'll take the Celtics all day long in this one. Keep an eye on the pinned comment, see if it becomes a final play. All right, Pelicans taking on the Warriors here. Pelicans taking on the Warriors. 5-point favorites at home against this Golden State team. Golden State obviously is on the back-to-back, so you're always going to watch the injury report for this team. Nothing to note right now in terms of injuries for this Golden State team, but they're always, in a back-to-back watch. You got to keep an eye out for who's in, who's out on that team. Right now, there's nothing that we could see at 6:30 in the morning, but Zion also questionable on the other side of things. Warriors coming off a win to Houston. I mean, they were 10.5-point favorites. They only win that one by 7 points. So this Warriors team just has not been impressive. That being said, I don't feel comfortable laying 5 points as a Pelicans team here. If Vegas knows something we don't know, and that Steph and Clay and Draymond, these guys are going to sit out, and the Warriors are going to bring over their hodgepodge JV team like they have in the past for back-to-backs, then I understand the 5.5. So if that's the case, I probably do lean 5.5 here on the Pelicans side of things. But as of right now, if everyone's going to be playing, I don't really love -5 for the Pelicans. I don't think that they're at the point right now where they can just drop that number. They have been playing decent basketball, but they're about 500 in their last 10 games here. It's not like they have all this momentum on their side. So keep an eye on the injury report there. It's either I guess I hate to say it, but if everyone's playing, I guess I lean Warriors +5. If no one's playing, I'm probably off this game, but it's kind of confusing just to begin with. So keep that in mind, guys. Injuries obviously a huge factor. All right, Minnesota taking on the Heat here. Minnesota 8.5-point favorites at home. The Heat played last night. They had their hodgepodge lineup in there too. And for this one, Jimmy Butler's questionable. Tyler Herro's out. Gabe Vincent's questionable. And Victor Oladipo is still out as well. Looks like Bam Adebayo no longer on the injury report. This Miami team has dropped 3 straight. Minnesota has actually won 3 straight, but I do think that 8.5 points is too much to give. So I don't care if they're that injured. I'm going to lean Miami here +8.5. The total is 216.5. I mean, both these teams love unders this season. In their last 10 here, Miami is 4-5-1 in terms of over-unders, and then Minnesota's 5-5, 50% there. So I guess I lean under, but that total is way too low for me to actually touch. So I'm just going to lean Miami here plus the points in this one. All right, OKC taking on NYK. The OKC Thunder are -2.5 here at home. The Knicks, kind of turned their season around in a sense, jumped over 500, 8-9 here, straight up. They're 7-9-1 against the spread. The rumbling covering Thunder, 10-6 against the spread. But I don't really love them as favorites in this one. So I'm going to lean the Knicks, who are coming off of 2 straight losses. Yes, I hate to do it. Yes, I know they got stomped by New York yesterday, but I keep saying the OKC Thunder. The Thunder beat this Knicks team 145-135 last time they played. If you don't think that makes the Knicks think that that kind of stings and they want to get their revenge, then you are crazy. So I'm going to lean the underdog Knicks in this one, barring any back-to-back injuries or rest days that come out late, but I am going to lean Knicks in this one. And I also like the under as well, 230.5. All right, the Bucks taking on the Blazers here. Bucks 9-point favorites against this Blazers team who has surprised the you-know-what out of plenty of people. 10-6 straight up, 11-5 against the spread. They have pretty similar records. Like the Bucks are 11-4 straight up and 10-5 against the spread. Total sitting here at 215.5. I just think that this is a crazy Bucks team, crazy Blazers team. Even when they're losing games like they have been, I think they've lost 3 out of the last 4, at least 2 out of the last 3. They still have a pretty impressive record. And the Bucks actually on a big time slide here. Now they have been injured, they have been kind of beaten and bruised, but it looks like they're going to get Jrue Holiday healthy for this one. Wesley Matthews is questionable, Joe Ingles is questionable, and Pat Connaughton is questionable. I think the Bucks return to true form tonight. And as impressive as this Trailblazers team has been, I do lay the big number with the Bucks there, -9. I also like the over in this one, 215.5. That may be a final play. Keep an eye on that pinned comment, guys. Last game of the video, we got the Clippers taking on the Jazz. Clippers 4-point favorites here. And you might be thinking, okay, this Clippers team looks like they may be starting to get it going. 2 wins in a row. They've won 3 out of the last 4, but I don't totally buy in yet. Those 3 wins out of the last 4, they've beat Houston, they've beat Detroit, and they beat San Antonio. Whereas Utah is just having a very good season overall, beating Phoenix, then beating Portland. I'm going to lean Utah in this one. If I can get Utah plus 4 points, I think that is the move. So I'm going to lean Utah in this one. They're 12-6 against the spread this season. The Clippers, yes, they're starting to win games, 10-7 straight up, but they're still 8-9 against the spread overall. So I do like this Clippers team. At home, they're 3-3 against the spread. They're actually 4-4 they're actually 4-0 in their last 4 games on the road against the spread. Well, too bad, Clippers. You're at home today, and the Utah Jazz here are actually good against the spread on the road, 5-2 in their last 7 games on the road here against the spread. So I'm going to lean Jazz on this one, +4, guys. That is all I have for you guys. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. Hopefully it doesn't sound like crap, doesn't look like crap. We are recording from the car. But yeah, I had to get up before the sun. If you guys remember the last car video, the sun rose. The sun rose behind me, and it made the video look like super, super weird. Like I was like Jesus or something like that. But we had to get up, do it before the sunrise. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.